Blackstone Audiobooks presents
Colour Scheme by Ngaio Marsh. Chapter 1. The Clares and Dr. Accrington. When Dr. James Accrington limped into the Harpoon Club on the afternoon of Monday, January the 13th, he was in a poisonous temper. A sequence of events had combined to irritate and then to inflame him. He had slept badly. He had embarked, he scarcely knew why, on a row with his sister, a row based obscurely on the therapeutic value of mud pools and the technique of frying eggs. He had asked for the daily paper of the previous Thursday, only to discover that it had been used to wrap up Mr. Maoris Questing's picnic lunch. His niece Barbara, charged with this offence, burst out into one of her fits of nervous laughter, and recovered the paper stained with ham fat and reeking with onions. Dr. Accrington, in shaking it angrily before her, had tapped his sciatic nerve smartly against the table. Blind with pain and white with rage, he stumbled to his room, undressed, took a shower, wrapped himself in his dressing-gown, and made his way to the hottest of the thermal baths, only to find Mr. Maoris Questing sitting in it, his unattractive outline rimmed with effervescence. Mr. Questing had laughed offensively and announced his intention of remaining in the pool for 20 minutes. He had pointed out the less hot but unoccupied baths. Dr. Accrington, standing on the hardened bluish mud banks that surrounded the pool, embarked on as violent a quarrel as he could bring about with a naked, smiling antagonist who returned no answer to the grossest insults. He then went back to his room, dressed, and finding nobody upon whom to pour out his wrath, drove his car ruthlessly up the sharp track from Waiatatapu Hot Springs to the main road for Harpoon. He left behind an atmosphere well suited to his mood, since the air, as always, reeked of sulphurous vapours. Arrived at the club, he collected his letters and turned into the writing-room. The windows looked across the Harpoon Inlet, whose waters on this midsummer morning were quite unscored by ripples, and held immaculate the images of sky and white sand, and of the crimson flowering trees that bloom at this time of year in the Northland of New Zealand. A shimmer of heat rose from the pavement outside the club, and under its influence the form of trees, hills, and bays seemed to shake a little, as if indeed the strangely primitive landscape was still taking shape, and were rather a half-realized idea than a concrete accomplishment of nature. It was a beautiful prospect, but Dr. Accrington was not really moved by it. He reflected that the day would be
Sample complete. Ready to continue?